So it was only a matter of time, but it seems like Respawn has finally pissed off some of its customers. Let's talk about this. Hey everybody, what is going on? Brandon here with another video today, this time talking about the controversy surrounding Apex Legends and its developers. Now, I actually recorded a giant segment for this video yesterday, and it ended up being way too long trying to get everything out there that I really wanted to say, trying to explain things. So I decided rather than make a giant video that probably won't even get as many views because of its length, I'm just going to record a basic small one right now and give you guys my thoughts on this and fill you in on a little bit of information you might not have thought of when hearing about all this. Now, recently the Apex Legends developers Respawn are under fire as their developers and community manager have gotten into it with other users on Reddit after posting an apology based on the Iron Crown event. If you're unaware of the controversy that I'm referring to, the Iron Crown event is a limited time event going on right now in Apex Legends where players can perform certain quests and tasks to earn these points to go and get these limited time Iron Crown loot boxes with limited time cosmetics. The controversy is that if you want to actually buy them without having to go through the process of doing all these challenges and grinding these out, it would cost upwards of 170 American dollars. Which, whoo, yeah, that is a lot of money. It is way more money than anybody should be charging anything for in any game whatsoever, even if it is a free-to-play game. $170 is a steep price point. And people were mad. People went up in arms. They were complaining on the Reddit. And that's not actually where the controversy stopped. I actually expected, after the next step, the controversy to be over. The developers came out and said, okay, we're sorry, we understand, we're taking feedback, we're going to start a mega thread, give us your suggestions on how we can fix this, we're going to put these items inside the regular loot boxes so you can even earn them without doing the Iron Crown event. We're sorry, we're going to make this right, we're learning, this is a learning curve for us. They basically came out and apologized. And I thought that was going to be the end of it. Okay, yeah, they made a huge mistake, obviously. And yeah, EA has a lot to do with it. But, they've come out, they've apologized. Okay, it's over. But apparently not. Immediately following the apology, thousands of users took to Reddit to attack the developers, calling them pieces of shit, liars, giving them a bunch of crap for their partnership with EA, calling them sellouts. And yeah, I don't think they should have sold themselves to EA. But then again, I'm not their accountant. I don't know what their financial records looked like. I don't know what kind of financial move this was going with EA. So I'm not going to comment really on that. EA is a really shitty company. I think we can all agree there. But the attacks on these devs was kind of unfair. It really is kind of unfair to attack the developers like this. It's one thing to have constructive criticism. It's another thing to then lash out and call names and be extremely toxic to developers that are developing a game that you claim to love. But the developers and even the community manager lashed back out after receiving so much harassment and so much toxicity. Over all this, they lashed back out. And this is where the big controversy is. A lot of people calling for Respawn devs' heads on pikes just because, they stood their ground and they lashed back out. And one thing I want to make very clear, constructive criticism over the fact that $170 for some microtransactions is way too much and that is a huge ripoff is one thing. But being really toxic and hurtful for no reason, and then not expecting a reaction out of another human being is just idiotic. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, and while you see it as you are one person and you're writing the developer, and then they're responding back to you maybe one time, or they're responding to the whole, you're seeing that as a one-on-one interaction. It's not stressing you out. But when you're a developer or anything, if you work in any profession where you deal with 100 people, 1,000 people, and everybody's being critical of you and everybody's being crappy, even the ones that are being constructive get hidden and buried underneath all the ones that are just being mean and hurtful. So it's really hard to get the reaction that you want when nobody's wanting to be constructive. So it almost comes off as the people that were trying to be constructive and actually just give legit criticism to get the thing fixed were being overshadowed by the amount of people that were saying really hurtful, nasty things to these developers online. Guys, these developers are people. This is their job. This is how they make their money. Yeah, they fucked up. They messed up. But they did not deserve the amount of harassment they got. And they definitely don't deserve the fact that they lashed back out and now you guys want to get mad. You can't say a bunch of hurtful things to somebody and not expect them to say something back. You can't. It doesn't matter. Apex Legends is a free-to-play game. You do not have to spend anything to get anything. The cosmetics are 100% optional. And I know a lot of you are going to be mad because they said that gamers were freeloaders, and that's being taken way out of context. The exact quote was this here on the screen. And what they followed that with was something that made actually a lot of sense, but a lot of people just didn't want to hear it. And that is, doesn't matter what the price is, it doesn't really move the needle. And what he means by that is, there is analytics, there are numbers that these people, these groups, they pay attention to, these publishers, they pay attention to when designing stuff like this, when coming up with these strategies to try to make money, to try to put microtransactions in games. There are studies that show, you know, what group of people spend, what group of people don't spend, and it really doesn't matter the price. The needle doesn't move. The same people that are going to buy loot boxes today are going to buy them tomorrow, and the same people that have not been buying them for the last 2 months are not going to buy them tomorrow. And yes, there are the certain individual people that'll say, well, you know what, if it was cheaper, I would buy it. And when it goes on sale, I do buy it. And that's great, but those people are a very, very, very select minority. And a company cannot look at that minority. Otherwise, they're not going to make any profit. Now, I'm not saying, again, that the $170 for the Apex Legends stuff was worth it, because it most definitely was not. It was a ripoff. But after the apology, after the promise to fix it, and after opening the mega thread to get suggestions on what they could do to perfect it and make it better, as well as offering the Iron Crown stuff in the regular loot boxes after the event ends, I do not understand why people needed to be so toxic at that point. And honestly, guys, there's just too many YouTubers out there like the Quartering and his Dollar Tree knockoff Sid Beta that will just sit there and stir the pot and try to piss people off and get them riled up, only looking at things from the consumer's point of view. And I've had this argument with multiple people before where they say, oh, why should I care about the developer or the publisher? I'm the consumer. I'm caring about my point of view. But that's not how the real world works. There is a relationship there. There's a symbiosis there that needs to happen. If too many people, if gaming gets too toxic, guess what, guys? Developers are going to stop making games. You know, they don't have to make games. They make games for entertainment. Every single one of these developers could get a job making some other kind of software that is not going to have nearly the toxic feedback coming from the audience. So you guys really need to understand that these software developers are people. You call them an asshole, you can't get mad when they call you an asshole back. It's just cause and effect. But guys, it's all the time I got for this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope some of you took something away from this. If you didn't already, you have the same kind of feelings I do. I know I've met quite a few people that have the same beliefs I do, that you just shouldn't treat people like crap because you disagree with something they do. That seems to be the way people want to be now. If you disagree, you want to be combative and fight and argue and be nasty, and I'm tired of seeing that. I'm tired of seeing that, especially in gaming. Gaming is becoming known as a very toxic community, and it's my community, so I don't want it to be as toxic. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. If you like this video and you want to see more, please do us a favor and hit that red subscribe button. If you want to know anytime Nathan or I upload videos, please do us a favor and hit that bell icon so we'll be sure YouTube sends you notifications out. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.